welcome to our episode of Super Reaction Bros. I'm Christian.
I'm Christopher.
And on today's episode, we are taking a look at the death battle from 2 to 3 weeks ago for Scarlet Witch versus Zatanna. The battle of the female magicians.
Yeah, very much.
Magic. One is a very talented sorceress who has ties to Dr. Fate, who has very powerful abilities used in the right circumstances, as we've seen in Young Justice. Mm-hmm. The other can literally manipulate reality itself.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, she literally made it in a house event, made it to where mutants were the dominant species. She altered all of reality for that, and then alter it back where now mutants were an extremely endangered species.
Yeah. For now, we're gonna dive into this. What is it? And then make our decisions. Right now, as it stands for me personally, even though I'm a DC fanboy, I don't know too much about Zatanna and her pretty much full potential just yet. Compared to Scarlet Witch, which pretty much everybody knows she's like one of the most powerful mutants, or at least pretty much there. So let's dive into this. We'll take a look at these two magic wielding women in this death battle between Scarlet Witch versus Zatanna. Marvel versus DC. So here we go.
This episode is sponsored by The Northman and BetterHelp. The Scarlet Witch, Marvel's Crimson Queen of Chaos.
Zatanna, DC's magnificent mistress of magic.
There are those who wield the mystic arts like gods to reshape creation to their whims.
And there are those who just like to put on a hell of a show. Either way, don't mess with them if you know what's good for you. He's Wiz and I'm Boomstick.
And it's our job to analyze their weapons, armor, and skills to find out who would win a death battle. Though we may drift day by day in a world seemingly concrete and eternal, the fabric of reality is in fact more delicate than we might dare to wonder. Imagine every single iota of it, every star, galaxy, universe, all within the grasp of a single mortal woman, to control at her whim. Imagine the danger we're all in if you piss her off.
We don't have to, because her name is Wanda Maximoff, the Scarlet Witch. As a kid, she and her brother Pietro were poor Romani, who were lucky enough to be turned into superpowered freaks by the High Evolutionary.
Unable to control her
surprise, not me. Surprise
it
again.
wasn't long before Wanda lost control and was branded a witch.
Until who would show up but the mutant master of magnetism himself, Magneto. Definitely giving off some big dad energy there.
So, to return Magneto's kindness, she and Pietro joined his Brotherhood of Evil Mutants. Great name there, Magneto. Solid branding.
And it wasn't long before she traded her supervillain creds for a membership with the Avengers, which might have been a bit too much for poor Wanda because she definitely drew the superpower short stick.
By waving her hands, Wanda could create small random events known as hexes, subtly altering the probability of any event happening.
That's a cool way of saying she could do like one magic-y thing per fight and then be totally useless. An energy blast here, some telekinesis there, a force field if she's feeling frisky. Not exactly the same oomph as, say, the God of Thunder or the Jolly Green Worldbreaker.
But something strange was happening. Over time, her hexes increased in breadth and power, as if there was more to Wanda's powers than met the eye. She learned to slow and stop time, drain and absorb energy, duplicate herself and others, teleport to different dimensions, and even strip others of their powers entirely.
It was almost as if there was more to Wanda than just some random science experiment. Let's ask our resident expert on the deepest trenches of character history. Jocelyn, if you will.
In reality, Wanda's powers weren't entirely the result of the High Evolutionary, nor was she the mutant daughter of Magneto, as he's claimed. Her powers weren't just some simple hexes. She might as well have been a god. Until now, she had merely been dipping her toes into the vast ocean known as chaos magic. Though her powers may have seemed to be the byproduct of science, they were in reality the gift of the Lovecraftian elder god Cthon, who attempted to turn Wanda into his future vessel.
Reminds me of
Wow.
summers by the sea with old Uncle Yogg-Sothoth.
In time, Wanda discovered she could alter the probability of anything she could think of, turning a mathematical impossibility into an absolute certainty, and vice versa. Wanda's powers kept growing and growing, turning her into a being strong enough to rival even the mightiest of gods. Like, literally, Wanda's chaos magic is counterpart to the Phoenix Force, the embodiment of cosmic
I
order.
didn't know that.
You know, that fiery space chicken that can destroy the universe?
That fiery
Wanda fought
space
it, and
chicken.
even briefly erased it from existence.
At her height, the Scarlet Witch achieved total control over energy, the weather, the elements,
I'll just
your
see that in
mind,
the
your
MCU.
body, your soul, all of time, all of matter, and all of reality. She can wipe you from existence with a thought and rend the very fabric of the universe as though it were tissue paper.
She isn't even limited to chaos magic either. They might not have been what made her a god, but the High Evolutionary's experiments did make her more receptive to channeling magical energy. Oh, maybe that's why
now
Mama
that's from
Mystic always
Overline
warned me about
Survey.
redheads.
She's so receptive, in fact, that Wanda is the lone nexus being of the 616 reality, a focal point for the universe's magical energies, and one that belongs equally to all other timelines.
It's no wonder she was considered a candidate for Sorcerer Supreme. I mean, shit, why wasn't she? She might as well be a walking, talking Infinity Gauntlet.
Well,
Fuck, we may have gotten
power
that
of
could
God,
spoil
but
something
she's
for
still
happens in the
stuck
next
with
Doctor
his
Strange
body, can be
film.
overpowered by physically stronger foes. Though, she also survived being shot with a black matter bullet capable of, and I quote, world-shattering energy. So there's that.
She does technically need to be able to think of a spell in order to get it to happen, so she could theoretically be blitzed. But she's also blocked Thor's galaxy-crossing hammer, kept up with dudes like X-Man who can fight within plank time, and even amp her own speed beyond the concept of speed herself.
Despite being far and away the mightiest among Earth's mightiest heroes, Wanda resented the pressure of her incredible power. She actually wanted a quiet life as a wife and a mother.
But because no one in comics is allowed to have a happily ever after,
Yeah,
life was
comic
taken
books.
from her by literal Satan. Not the last time he'd do this too. Wanda snapped and she took the multiverse with her.
By tapping into an inconceivable and unknowable pool of energy known as the Life Force, Wanda rewrote all of reality, creating a new universe where life was just how she wanted it.
No matter whose life she had to change. In this House of M, she had her family back, but at the cost of her sanity.
And it wasn't long before it all came crashing down around her. Once her family and friends discovered the lie of their new lives and turned against her, she uttered 3 fateful words and erased nearly all of mutant kind. No more mutants.
Wanda weaved her magic throughout all of existence, created cracks across reality which spread throughout the Omniverse, and threatened to annihilate all of creation, the entirety of Marvel's infinite cosmology. Everything that ever was.
Shit got dark, and while Wanda has worked to keep her powers in check since then, that threat is always there. But honestly, that sounds more like a problem for anyone who's stupid enough to get in her way.
Both a blessing and a curse, a help and a hex. Such is the true power of the Scarlet Witch.
Okay.
This
So
episode of Death Battle is sponsored by...
I don't know how Zatanna's gonna take on that.
Remind me why you need to go
Oh,
with
look, she can
God
pull
slaying
50,000 rabbits out of her hat.
Weapons of Cosmic
Neat.
Destruction Center be with.
That's cool.
And this movie's gonna be so
Ish.
friggin' awesome, I needed
Did you
something
just
to match the occasion.
Alter reality and wipe all your family's kind out of
Packed
existence?
epic with a legendary cast of stars at the peak of their craft, including Alexander Skarsgård, Nicole
Be fair,
Kidman, Anya Taylor-Joy,
movies
Willem
look good.
Dafoe, Ethan Hawke, and Bjork.
Willem Dafoe and Bjork
Oh, that's
speaking
Bjork?
writing prophecies in my dreams
Yeah.
happens like every Tuesday night for me, so this is definitely my kind of flick.
It's an action-packed epic that
Griff is
follows a
saying
young
he was,
Viking prince on a quest to
heavily
avenge his
inspired by
father.
Like
Conan
a Viking
Barbarian.
version of Hamlet, but
Yeah, I
this
get that
prince is
vibe.
very much in
You
the
do.
not-to-be camp when it comes to the poor souls that decide to cross him. See, Wiz, it really is Shakespearean.
spot there,
Man,
man.
that was so
Still
cool.
love that.
I spot right there.
Care and
That's
research
soul
in every
betrayal
frame.
right
It might be
there.
the most authentic Viking film of all time.
The action, the adventure, that slick cinematography. I gotta see this on the big screen right now. Go see The Northman exclusively in theaters April 22nd. That'll grow back, right?
Next
Come
one.
one, come all, to see the Zatanna Zatara, for never was there a greater professor of prestidigital performance.
AKA Magic! Except
Oh, yeah,
Zatanna
when-
aren't just
yeah.
smoke and mirrors, they're the
When she
real
showed
deal.
up in,
So you're really
Smallville.
getting your money's
Yeah.
worth.
She learned everything she knew from her father, Giovanni Zatara, who put his powers to good use as one of DC's very first superheroes.
No joke, he's the guy who taught Batman everything he knows about escape artistry. He debuted the same issue as Superman, and the young Zatanna was more than happy to serve as his assistant, learning everything he knew about the cutthroat world of entertainment. Oh, and Cape should too, but the former is way worse.
She inherited her father's incredible mystical abilities as well. Essentially, anything Zatanna thinks of, she can make real. And she focuses this absurdly powerful ability by speaking her desired effect backwards.
Yeah, it's always
her father
backwards.
based this technique on the diaries of Leonardo da Vinci, who some theorize wrote backwards in order to hide his ideas from the repressive medieval Catholic Church.
Or
You're not
because
expecting
he
the
was
Spanish Inquisition. No one's expecting.
Yeah, that's another theory. If you hate fun.
And Zatanna's apparently big-brained enough that she has no problem speaking backwards at the drop of a hat. Like when this one dude kept reversing time in the middle of her sentences, she started speaking in palindromes so that she'd still be speaking backwards no matter what. I mean, you know what they say, Wiz? Go hang a salami, I'm a lasagna hog.
With her magic, Zatanna has bent the laws of reality to her whims. She's transmuted matter on an atomic level, teleported across dimensions, commanded the elements, turned invisible, removed powers, cast illusions, read and controlled minds, traveled through and stopped time, and can even wipe people from existence with a single word.
It might not seem obvious from that hokey magic castle getup, but Zatanna is one of the most powerful sorcerers in DC. Like the time she battled the Time Tailor Zor, an old enemy of the Spectre. You know, the Angel of God's defying wrath.
In order to defeat an opponent of such unimaginable power, Zatanna focused her magical might into shattering the boundaries of reality. She reached out beyond the very comic panels themselves and pulled Zor's entire magical universe down around him.
that's cool.
She literally handled all of reality like it was a sheet of paper and crumpled it in her hands.
That might seem completely incomprehensibly impossible to us, but it's all a matter of belief. Literally. As long as Zatanna believes she can do something with her magic, she'll do it.
As she puts it, her magic is essentially asserting one reality, then replacing it with another. This is similar to other magical characters like Dr. Fate and Green Lantern, whose powers have been stated to work the exact same way.
But it's not like any rando can do magic by wishing on a star. Zatanna is genetically predisposed to this kind of magical reality warping. Her mom was in actuality a Homo Magi, a subrace of humans that are naturally adept at magic.
So it's no wonder that Zatanna became an invaluable member of both the Justice League of America and Justice League Dark. The Shadow the Hedgehog version, basically.
An entire year's worth of sunlight into a single energy blast, created ruptures across all of space and time throughout the DC multiverse, and has even claimed she's as powerful as Superman himself. Pre-Crisis Superman, in case you were wondering. Her only limit is her imagination and will. In fact, her backward speaking is mostly a stagecraft tradition meant to boost her concentration.
In a pinch, she can cast a spell with a single thud, and I doubt anyone's winning a quick draw with her. She's matched superheroes like Martian Manhunter, who scanned every mind on Earth in a blank instant. Or how about Dr. Fate, whose magic traveled across the universe at the completely immeasurable velocity of God?
Zatanna has fended off countless reality-shattering threats like the Eldritch Upside-Down Man, Primordial Darkness, that is evil incarnate, and the Void Beyond Creation, Pralaya.
This shadow goop lady ate all of DC Comics, all of creation, everything. Gods, demons, rabbits, and spandex, everything. And Zatanna's magic was strong enough to hold her back.
And then, after secretly implanting Swamp Thing inside Pralaya, she weaved a spell within him to literally regrow all of reality back in seconds.
Zatanna tried to be
that is
older
cool.
than God, and then blew her ass up from the inside with a whole new omniverse. Abracadabra.
Such is the almighty power of Zatanna's will. Should it falter though, or should her focus be disrupted, it could all come crashing down like a house of cards. Belief is a fragile thing after all, and her powers were weakened for a time after she lost belief in herself.
And she's definitely got one big weak point. She's a huge daddy's girl.
Despite her amazing career, she has struggled within herself to live up to her father's legacy, especially after his heroic death.
And this MFer has died a lot of times. So Z's therapy can't be cheap.
I guess we're
Especially
happy he's
after
currently
dating
alive
John
and we're watching Young
Constantine.
Justice.
That's especially
I
after
can
dating
just smell
John
the lager
Constantine.
and self-loathing from here. No, wait, that's me.
Questionable romance aside, Zatanna is a
haven't seen
consummate professional
Constantine
raised
Young
on
Justice.
one
I haven't seen
singular
any of that
principle.
stuff. So
The
welcome
show
to the club.
must go on, and she'll always finish strong with a standing ovation. This show is
really don't
sponsored by
know.
BetterHelp
There's
Online
literally
Therapy.
a woman who can warp reality, or a woman who can warp reality just by thinking it.
Go out of her way to treat other
Yeah,
people well.
I honestly don't know on this one. At this point,
This month,
I'm just
BetterHelp
gonna go with.
I
with-
swear to God, the multiverse can be shattered in Death Battle alone for these two.
Whether you're hitting the gym,
At
this
for
point,
your haircut, or
they're gonna
your
reboot
therapy,
the whole
you are
universe
your
in their
greatest
world.
asset. So invest
And you know, until we can have all these other.
Except they're all gonna have pony heads.
BetterHelp is
Yeah.
online therapy.
Why?
Offers video
I don't know,
calls,
Zatanna was thinking
live
about My
chat
Little
sessions
Pony for like
with your
5
therapist.
milliseconds.
You don't have to see anyone on camera if you don't want to.
If
It's much
anything,
more affordable
honestly,
than in-person therapy,
I'm just gonna
and you can
at this
be met
point
with
go with
a therapist
Zatanna.
under 48
Like I
hours.
said, I'm just
Give
gonna
it
go
a
with,
try and see
with
why
that
over
and go
2
from
million
how they're
people
gonna
have used
go
BetterHelp
from
online
there.
therapy.
As this show
You're
is
doing
sponsored by
magic,
BetterHelp, Death Battle
so-
viewers can get 10% off their
Good
first
for
month at BetterHelp.com/DeathBattle.
That's BETTERHELP.com/deathbattle.
All right, the combatants are set. We've run the data through all possibilities.
It's time for a death battle with magic.
Magic.
Oh, thank you. And for my first trick,
I feel bad for the person dubbing Zatanna. They just gotta speak backwards.
Shit.
ta-da! You, what sort of two-bit sorceress do you think you are? Two-bit?
You are 2 bits. You get it?
Perhaps I was being generous. All part of the show, folks.
Hey, you got
Oh
bunny
no!
rabbit.
Oh damn! She hit the Monty Python rabbit there.
Oh damn.
Superman.
Oh!
I'd say this calls for an avenger.
An Avenger.
Oh,
Okay.
ooh, cool. They use the NBC version. Oh,
Yeah. Oh yeah, so in the meantime, we got 2 mini battles. Oh, Thor! Wonder Woman I saw.
You know the difference between you and I.
I make this look good. Oh, okay.
Power.
Well, I think the difference is presentation.
Presentation.
And I know a trick when I see one.
Oh, wait, what?
Wait, whoa.
Universes. You can't run forever. Now
Universes.
make like a magician and disappear.
Look at that universe.
Are they literally just chucking universes at each other now?
Yeah.
I'd be pissed off too.
Oh shit. It's going full rage mode now. No more sound. No more sound. Okay.
Oh.
She doesn't need sound. Remember, she can think it.
A disappearing act was the first thing Dad ever taught me. And for my final trick,
A lot of people are gonna rewind this and go. Hey, your DC girl won.
And that's our show, ladies and germs.
I was even going for anybody because I was like I couldn't decide.
Wow, yeah, see.
That's a magic trick that's to
There's a
die
huge chunk
for.
left
Analyzing
over.
this matchup was like walking on a tightrope. It could fall either way at any point.
But what's the
Because
catch?
at the end of the day, both these ladies could do basically anything with their magic. All they had to do was think and shit would happen. They were totally even. At her peak, Wanda was able to threaten the stability of all creation.
And at Zatanna's best, she was able to hold back Prolaya, who could do the exact
Hold down
same
to using
thing.
full
And
power. Yeah,
despite
there's no
some
downside to it.
differences, the
Yeah,
universal
they've
cosmology
never
is
shown.
Marvel and DC
Her only
so
weakness was her
completely
love for her
inside.
father.
That's what he said.
All that was left for us to look at was their weaknesses.
While both were as powerful as one another, Wanda needed to tap into the life force to reach
Yeah.
that pinnacle, and doing so threatened her sanity.
Let's take a closer look at the events surrounding House of M, where Wanda's powers were at their maximum.
Despite admitting that she was way stronger, Doctor Strange managed to get the best of Wanda with a cool head and a spell that briefly knocked her out cold.
His wits against her mental instability were enough to turn the tide.
To be
Yeah.
clear, this instability definitely wouldn't affect her power. She was still strong enough to create a completely new alternate reality and then erase it just as easily. What it would do is leave her open.
Also,
Yeah.
take her No More Mutant spell. As insanely powerful as it was to affect the whole of Marvel's creation, it wasn't entirely successful. There was still a tiny portion of Earth's mutant population left unaffected.
Yeah,
likely due to
over
interference from
150
Strange
or
and
something
Emma
like
Frost.
that.
Yeah.
Against Zatanna, who was just as strong and not losing her mind, she wouldn't be able to
I
afford
love that
kind of
person
laugh,
starts
even for an instant.
chucking
On the
universes at
other
her.
hand, Zatanna has managed to maintain her willpower fighting foes just
yeah.
as strong as the Scarlet Witch, so she didn't have the same kind of exploitable weakness.
And remember,
Promise.
she doesn't actually need to say her spells backwards.
Yeah.
It helps with her concentration, but
Yeah.
all her spells come from her mental impulses, just like Wanda. She's consistently pulled off non-verbal spells in the past, even against beings as strong as Prolaya.
In
That
the
one
end,
still
she
gets me.
definitely had
Literally
enough
Swamp Thing
experience
to
fighting
recreate
smart
the
and
entire
keeping on her
universe.
toes
I'm
that
like,
she left
what?
Wanda long enough to get in a finishing blow.
While there were definitely versions of this battle that could have ended with Wanda victorious,
I like the
Zatanna's
confirming.
cooler head and effortless magic allowed her to prevail.
I guess you could say Wanda never saw it coming, and Zatanna Maxim offed her.
The winner is Zatanna.
Yeah. So that's what it was. It was just more of her instability. If it wasn't for that, they said it could have gone either way. But that's what they're going off of, is her biggest weakness was just her insanity. Whereas Zatanna, like you, they said, it's just her father. Yeah, so.
So we're not doing that one because we don't know not enough about both characters.
Yeah.
But I can tell you what is the next episode for us
After that one.
After, so we're not doing Dio versus Tojiro. We are doing the Mighty Thor versus the Prince of All Saiyans, Vegeta. Yeah, that's the next death battle we're doing.
That's gonna be fun.
Yeah, that's right around the corner. We
This
can't wait
one
for
was
that.
fun though. This one was really good because it was very challenging. Because again, a lot of people do know of Scarlet Witch's power, and you know, in Marvel and stuff like that. Because you know, not only because of the MCU, but also because of, you know, in the comics we've seen some of the popular stories that have been put together. But with Zatanna, not a lot of people, unless you're a full-on deep dive DC fanboy, really don't know a lot about Zatanna, except that, oh, it's more of a magician type of hero. It's like, no, there's a whole lot that she's ever gone through, and she's just as powerful
Oh yeah, like
as Scarlet Witch.
like I said, her using Swamp Thing to recreate all the universe just still like astounding.
You know, and I like how even they stated going, her biggest weakness was always just her father, compared to Scarlet, which was just, you know, whenever her power goes to, you know, overload, it starts to judge her insanity of how crazy it's gonna make her the more power she uses. So that was her biggest weakness overall. So that's why I even like that. By the end of it, they're like, it honestly could have gone either way. If it wasn't, you know, if it did make her go insane, then probably Scarlet Witch could have taken it over. You know, but it could have gone either way. So they just went with the one where it's like her, you know, just their biggest weaknesses overall. But yeah, that's pretty cool. I can't wait for them to do, because I think they did say they are still doing a solo Zatanna movie, from what I've been hearing at least, rumblings from a long time ago at least. But yeah, I'm super psyched for this. Can't wait to see what's gonna happen and how that's gonna be put together. But this was a really good death battle overall.
Yeah, definitely. So other than that, folks, if you're new to the channel, you can hit the like button. If you want to talk to us more about stuff like this, comment down below. If you want to share us around, share it around. And if you like us a little bit more than anybody else when it comes to talking about death battles, hit the subscribe button down below. Hit the bell icon as well.
What did you guys think of this death battle? Do you agree with it? Do you disagree with it? Do you think that it could have gone pretty much the other way in this? Or do you are perfectly fine of how it went? Especially by the end of it, where even they stated it could have actually gone any other way, pretty much for both sides, multiple times. I mean, let us know what you guys' thoughts are. You know, would you love to see a Zatanna film overall, just to see how far they would go, or how deep they would go for this character? And pretty much, you know, are you excited for whatever's coming next for Scarlet Witch? Depending, like I said, we haven't not seen Doctor Strange just yet, but depending on what other plans they have for her in the future, are you guys excited? I mean, put down what you guys' thoughts are on our reaction to this death battle, but most importantly, we thank you for watching.
And of course, you can check out our last death battle we did. I forget which one that was, but you can check out our last death battle we did right here on the channel. But until next time, though, I'm Chris.
I'm Christopher.
I mean, that's been a very witching hour-filled episode of SRB.
See ya.
Later.
Hey guys, thanks for watching.
If you want to check out any of our previous reactions,
As well as one of our other SRB shows.
check out one of the playlists down below.
And if you want to check us out in the social universe,
You can find us on Twitter and Stardust,
at Super React Bros.
as well as on Facebook.
At Super Reaction Bros.